Ladies and gentlemen, what we are witnessing right now is not just another political meeting, not just another headline buried in the evening news. This is history in the making. President Donald J. Trump, a man who has proven time and again that he is willing to challenge the status quo, has once again stepped onto the global stage with a kind of boldness that America has been missing for far too long. His recent meeting with key Arab leaders is not just symbolic. It is strategic. It is about redefining America's place in the world and restoring strength where weakness has lingered under past administrations. This is not about photo ops or hollow promises. This is about reshaping alliances that impact the future of our economy, our security, and the very principles we stand for. The first point we need to understand is that President Trump knows how to leverage strength. And he's not walking into these meetings as an apologetic leader begging for cooperation. He is walking in as a deal maker, a negotiator, someone who knows that America has the leverage. For years, global leaders looked at the United States as a nation in decline, unfocused, divided, and apologizing for its own greatness. Trump has flipped that script. When he meets with Arab leaders, he's not bowing or bending. He's commanding respect, and that respect translates into real outcomes. Whether it's energy policy, security cooperation, or trade negotiations, these leaders know Trump means business. They understand that he does not talk for the sake of headlines, but pushes for results that directly benefit the American people. So think about it. Under previous administrations, these meetings were more about keeping the peace with soft words and appeasement. But with Trump, the conversation changes. Arab leaders know that if they want access to America's markets, if they want to maintain strong ties with the most powerful nation in the world, they must meet us halfway. That's leverage. That's power. And Trump knows how to use it. He's not afraid to call out bad deals. He's not afraid to put tariffs or sanctions on the table. And he's not afraid to put America's interests first. That is what leadership looks like. That is what negotiation from a position of strength delivers when it's still on. And it sends a clear message across the globe. America is back, and it will not be pushed around. The second point is equally important. This meeting shows how Trump is reshaping global partnerships to reflect modern realities. For decades, the Middle East has been seen only through the lens of conflict, oil, and endless foreign entanglements. But Trump's approach is different. He sees opportunity in hand. He understands that Arab nations are not just regional players. They are global economic forces, critical allies in counterterrorism, and pivotal in shaping the future of energy independence. Instead of treating these leaders as distant acquaintances, Trump treats them as partners in a deal that must benefit both sides. That's the brilliance of his approach. Partnership, but with accountability. Arab leaders respect strength, decisiveness, and kafir. That's exactly what Trump brings to the table. He is not muddling the conversation with endless bureaucratic jargon. He is direct. He is transactional. He is saying, what will you give? What will America gain? And how do we move forward with mutual benefit? That kind of clarity doesn't just secure better deals for the United States. It also creates stability in a region often plagued with uncertainty. For Arab leaders, knowing exactly where Trump stands makes negotiations faster, sharper, and more effective. They don't have to guess, and they don't have to doubt. And this also has broader implications for American families back home. When Trump forges strong ties with Arab leaders, it directly affects energy prices, job creation, and national security. Stronger trade means more economic growth. Economic growth. Better security cooperation means fewer threats reaching our shores. And energy agreements help stabilize markets in ways that lower costs for everyday Americans. These aren't abstract diplomatic wins. These are real, tangible results that touch the lives of hardworking citizens across this country. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump's meeting with Arab leaders is not just another headline. It's a demonstration of what bold, unapologetic leadership looks like. It's a reminder that America doesn't need to settle for weakness, confusion, or compromise. We have a leader who knows how to negotiate, how to use leverage, and how to turn global partnerships into victories for the American people. He is not interested in endless wars or draining foreign entanglements. He is interested in deals that work, relationships that are strong, and outcomes that make America stronger, safer, and more prosperous. The world is watching, and they are taking notes. Arab leaders understand that Trump is not a politician who will bend under pressure. He is a leader who knows how to create pressure, how to use it, and how to secure the best deal possible. And because of that, America stands taller, stronger, and more respected on the world stage. This is the difference between weak leadership and strong leadership, between words that fade and actions that last. With Trump at the helm, America is once again the nation that sets the agenda, not the one that follows it. When we talk about leadership on the world stage, the word that defines President Trump is leverage. He understands something most career politicians have never grasped. Respect is not given in global affairs. It is earned and demanded through strength. When Trump walks into a room with Arab leaders, he does not carry the posture of weakness, nor does he beg for cooperation. He carries the confidence of someone who knows America holds the cards. For far too long, American leaders have approached these high-stakes meetings from a position of apology, almost as if they needed validation from foreign nations. That era is over. Trump recognizes that America is the most powerful economic, military, and cultural force in the world, and he leverages that reality to secure the outcomes that serve the American people first. Consider the contrast with past administrations. They often prioritize diplomacy for the sake of appearances, crafting vague agreements that sounded good but delivered little. Trump, however, sees diplomacy as a battlefield of negotiation, where words are not for decoration, but for securing tangible wins. When he sits across the table from Arab leaders, the calculation is clear. What are they willing to give in return for access to America's partnership, its markets, and its protection? That calculation gives Trump leverage, and he uses it unapologetically. Instead of bending under pressure, he creates the pressure. Instead of letting others dictate terms, he sets the terms. That is why Arab leaders approach him with respect, because they know weakness cannot extract results, but strength always can. This leverage is not built on arrogance, but on results. Trump has demonstrated that he is willing to walk away from bad deals, whether on trade, security, or energy. That stance alone shifts the balance of power. Foreign leaders know that he is not desperate for headlines or quick fixes. He is focused on what works. If the deal is not good for America, he will not sign. That kind of posture forces other nations to come to the table ready to compromise, because they understand that Trump is not afraid to use America's unmatched economic weight and military power to back his position. Leverage also means honesty. Arab leaders know exactly where Trump stands because he speaks directly, without hiding behind the confusing language of diplomacy. When America's interests are at stake, he is clear and firm. This eliminates the ambiguity that many foreign governments have exploited in the past. They cannot play games with Trump because he refuses to let them. He lays out the deal, defines the expectations, and demands accountability. That kind of clarity is rare in international relations, and it strengthens America's negotiating position. Most importantly, Trump's use of leverage translates into benefits at home. It is not about abstract wins overseas. It is about creating stability in oil markets, driving better trade terms, and ensuring that Arab partners contribute to regional security rather than leaving America to carry the burden alone. Every time Trump uses leverage to secure a better deal, American families feel it through lower costs, stronger jobs, and a safer nation. It proves that strength abroad is not disconnected from prosperity at home. In fact, they are deeply connected. Trump's meeting with Arab leaders is a reminder that leadership rooted in strength will always outperform leadership rooted in weakness. The world respects confidence, decisiveness, and leverage. And as long as Trump applies those principles, America will not just participate in global conversations. It will lead them. This is what separates a negotiator from a politician, a leader from a follower, and a winner from someone who merely settles. President Trump's meeting with Arab leaders is more than a diplomatic gesture. It is the blueprint for reshaping global partnerships in a way that actually reflects the realities of our world today. For decades, the Middle East was framed only through the lens of conflict, war, and oil. But Trump understands that these nations are far more than that. They are rising economic hubs, powerful voices in energy, and critical allies in the fight against terrorism. Instead of clinging to outdated approaches, Trump redefines the relationship. It is no longer one-sided aid or endless entanglements. It is partnership with accountability. That is the foundation of his foreign policy in this region, and it is exactly why Arab leaders respond with respect rather than suspicion. This shift is monumental because it establishes a new way forward, one built not on empty promises, but on transactional clarity. Trump speaks in terms of deals, and deals are something Arab leaders understand well. When he lays out America's expectations, it is simple. The United States will cooperate, but only if there is something real in return. That clarity of purpose creates partnerships that are stable and predictable, rather than vague and open to manipulation. Arab leaders appreciate knowing where America stands because it allows them to plan, invest, and collaborate without guessing what Washington really wants. This mutual understanding removes the confusion that has plagued international relations for decades. Trump's focus on reshaping partnerships also ensures that America is not carrying the entire burden. In the past, U.S. taxpayers funded initiatives that gave little return, while Arab leaders faced no accountability. With Trump, that model is over. If Arab nations want the benefits of America's partnership, whether it be economic ties, military cooperation, or diplomatic support, then they must contribute their share. That accountability creates balance in the relationship. It ensures that America does not act as the world's charity, but as a partner whose interests are respected and rewarded. This approach also brings direct benefits to everyday Americans. Stronger, accountable partnerships stabilize energy prices, create opportunities for U.S. businesses in Arab markets, and strengthen counterterrorism efforts that keep threats away from our shores. It is not theory. It is practical policy that impacts lives at home. Like in home. By holding Arab nations to a standard of mutual benefit, Trump ensures that the American worker, the American family, and the American economy come first. That is the hallmark of leadership that prioritizes results over rhetoric. Furthermore, Arab leaders respect decisiveness. They see in Trump someone who is not afraid to make clear choices, even when they are controversial. That decisiveness builds trust. In regions plagued by uncertainty, knowing that America will act consistently and transparently makes these partnerships far more effective. When leaders know that Trump says what he means and means what he says, they are more willing to commit to long-term agreements that foster stability and cooperation. In the bigger picture, this strategy repositions America as the world's agenda setter, rather than a passive participant. Reshaping partnerships in this way doesn't just benefit America in the moment. It sets a precedent for how future alliances will work. Nations around the world are watching how Trump deals with Arab leaders, and they are learning that America is once again the nation that demands respect, clarity, and fairness in every relation. That ripple effect strengthens America's global standing in ways that no weak policy of appeasement ever could. Trump's ability to reshape global partnerships with Arab leaders is proof that leadership is about vision, strength, and accountability. It is about building relationships that endure because they are fair, transparent, and beneficial for both sides. That is what makes his approach unique, and that is why America stands stronger on the world stage today.